Hey guys. So I'm really just trying to be laid back and lay here and watch Breaking Bad and be to myself, but I pull up Instagram and I'm getting so many DMs of people talking to me about spirituality and asking me questions, and I just have to keep putting out here things that, I feel like I have so much occult wisdom that I keep to myself because I'm used to not having people that I can physically talk to about it. So I usually just, I just study, research, practice, and I keep it to myself a lot, and I don't put out videos consistently about the things that happen to me. Like, one of the most recent downloads that I received was, okay, so oral traditions. There's been mystery schools that are oral traditions around the world as old as time. And so the only people who can take part in these ceremonies are those who have been initiated. And you won't find written anywhere the ritual ceremony lines which are spoken. You have to learn from someone orally, and the experience travels as a vibration on the voice of the initiate. And so everyone taking place in the ceremony will benefit from the ritual. So yeah, in my download, I saw a spirit, like a little ball of light, traveling on the voice of something that someone memorized how to say it correctly. And it's just an old tradition that's repeated over and over and over and passed on as a lineage. And so that was really interesting, not only to see, but to feel, to have a true visceral understanding of what was taking place, and how did I get to have that type of a channeling? Well, I just had an honest desire to know. I'm really interested in esoteric things and secret societies and all those things. And so yeah, whenever I was actually sleeping, and my hand was on my face, and my thumb was twitching so fast when I was downloading it, it felt like it was just vibrating, my thumb, whenever it was downloading me the information. So yeah, whenever that happens, if my fingers wake me up, I'll just turn over and go back to sleep, and I know as I'm falling back asleep, I'm gonna get some interesting information. But let's see. Sometimes my head will turn really quick and wake me up, and that kind of freaks me out. It's just really unexpected. Not too comfortable with the head turns, but what else did I want to talk about? Oh, someone just asked me on Instagram if I'm familiar with the hemi-sinc, and it's a CIA investigation for the brain hemisphere synchronization, and they wanted to investigate the little side note while I'm editing. Hemi-sinc is actually how the channeler Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, that's how she learned to channel, was by listening to the hemi-sinc for 9 months. I think 15 minutes twice a day. That's how she began to channel the entity Abraham. What should I call it? The metaphysical, spiritual gifts that people have. How can that be? They wanted a scientific study of spiritual gifts. And when the brain hemispheres are synchronized, and the third eye and the heart chakra are connected, and let me tell you, when you actually synchronize these hemispheres, it's a physical sensation, just as well as the third eye and the heart. You can actually feel both hemispheres of your brain. It feels like bliss on each side of the hemisphere. And so yeah, whenever I see, I'll get into a mantra that I like to listen to constantly, and I'll stay on that mantra for a while. For a while, I loved the what was it? Well, hemi-sinc, for one. You can find a bunch of different hemi-sinc binaural beats on YouTube. And there's another one that was, the Lotus Sutra. Try it out, the Lotus Sutra. There's some really beautiful monks chanting the Lotus Sutra. It's a mantra. So definitely try that out. And I know there's some of you that are subscribed to me now that I know you're going to go check it out, Lotus Sutra. So let me tell you what happened to me whenever I started. I don't know the Lotus Sutra. So it goes something like this. Come one yon yo rango guy, come one yo rango guy, come one yo rango guy. That's like really slow. Like they do it really fast and you can hear the monks singing it over each other. It's really powerful. So at the time that I was really into this Lotus Sutra, let me tell you what happened. So I'm sitting there whenever I was managing Dollar Tree, and me and one of the other managers just happened to be working that night because we didn't have a regular cashier. And, every time I get a 10-minute break or a 30-minute break, I'm in that parking lot rocking to the Lotus Sutra, right? Really like working on my spiritual practice any extra time that I get away from work. Even while I'm stalking, I'll be listening to mantras. But anyway, so yeah, we're counting the registers down and, just in the office doing our little office thing at the end of the shift. And she started talking about, she asked me what I was listening to. And I was telling her how, we listen to these mantras and I like to use the word Holy Spirit whenever I'm talking about like the Shakti energy or the Kundalini energy, because here in the South, people are very hardcore Christians. So I don't like to, A, confuse them with my Sanskrit terms, and B, scare them with, spirituality, because some people are very against that, things that they don't understand. So I just call it, I feel the Holy Spirit going up my legs when I listen to this mantra, because it goes up my legs and grows up my body like a vine. But so I was just telling her how I benefit from it. And as I started, and I said, you know what else? I had a dream about you and you were speaking light language. And as soon as I started talking to her about the Holy Spirit and the light language, the energy just came over me. And I was just like, yeah. So I know that, you're a light being. You're a loving light being. And so then we just went back to what we were doing. And, for me, a couple times I've felt my chakras open up like that while I'm talking to people, and I've asked them, do you feel that? And they've said no. So sometimes just to sound sane, I just like not to say anything. But then like a couple days later, she was stalking and I was just there shopping. I wasn't working. And I stopped and I said, did you feel that the other night? And she goes, yeah, that was my mom. And I was like, okay, so because the reason that I was asking her is because that night I dreamed that, I was in a classroom with the guy who taught me channeling. And I don't know how to link his thing. Matt and Enrico Channeling. His YouTube is Matt and Enrico Channeling. You can find his website. You can talk to him and he can teach you too. But I dreamed that I was in his classroom at a desk, and then I was trying to bring her mother through, and her mother came through and she did something. She winked and blew a kiss at her daughter through me. So, and her voice sounded like, okay, so the group of entities that I channel, I like to call Daughter, and Daughter has a very raspy voice, but her mother's voice was saying, because, I just want to have a name for what it is that's happening, and it's Daughter. But, that's like a whole nother thing I'll have to explain another time, another place. I'm just trying to make this a quick one because I'm trying to, watch Breaking Bad and have a couple of beers. But, I saw that it was her mother that came through and blew through me like a wind, and she knew that it was her mother. So I was really glad to have, not only channeled someone's mother who had passed away to them, but also to have opened up the experience by discussing the benefit that comes from listening to mantras. And so with all that being said, shortly after that, she was telling me how she began meditating, she began doing yoga, and she even got her boyfriend to meditate with her. So I feel like the entire situation got someone to pick up a habit that they normally wouldn't have because of the influence that the love of her mother I was able to channel through to her. I'm just really fortunate to have been able to do something like that. And of course, it's not me, it's God, but I'm just glad to have been able to be a conduit for an experience like that. And so I figured I'd share it, thought it was interesting enough to put out there. And I'm so happy to talk to you guys. Keep DMing me, keep messaging me, comment below, like, share, subscribe, please. And I love y'all so much. Don't you know I love you to death? You're the most beautiful thing God ever created. Long live the infinite creator.
Pain in my life, and I pray the Lord take it all away.